So good evening, broadcasting from St. Anthony's Catholic Church at the end of week 5 of our renovation project. And you can see some really exciting developments right in front of me. I'm looking at the beautiful back of the church. This is the direction for the front doors towards the nave and the choir loft. And you can see that the contrast painting has been beautifully done here. Shout out again to Conrad Schmidt, to XL Scaffolding and Modern Electric and all of those many people that are helping us. You can see that there's a contrasting colors from white to tan, this beautiful tan. And then there's some samples of some decorative accents that you're going to see through the church right behind me. If we look towards this direction, Conrad Schmidt has made some serious progress. You can see on these arches, each of these little arches now on this would be the south side of the church, has received its accent lines. And this one is a sample of what the church is ultimately going to look like when we're completely done. You'll notice that there's two kinds of gold accent lines on these arches, on these arch lines. This is a solid gold pattern, and then the pattern at the bottom is what we're trying to investigate, maybe putting on all through. It's called a rope pattern, and I'll give you a little moment to try to figure out why in the world would St. Anthony's have accented rope lines in gold throughout our church. I'll come back to that in a moment. But you'll notice here that these decorative pieces on each of the arches also have, now they've got their initial, it looks yellow, but when it's completed, it's going to be gold. It'll look really gold and accent all the way through the church. I'll just kind of take you on a real quick walk so that you can get a sense for how these arches look. And then I'll show you the arches, the accented arches all through. They're completed all the way up to the top. And I'll take you so you can get a good look at those accented lines. We're really making good progress here. Again, this is the end of week 5. So you can start to see all of those accented lines, vertical and horizontal, on the next level up have been completed. So let's go take a look. From this level, on the third level up, you can see very well how the arches, the main body of the church, the nave, those arches have been completed in white. You can see how they go all through. They're going to give a really good sense of scale and really accent our church, both the horizontal one and the vertical one. And that's been completed all through the main body of the church called the nave. We're going to take you up another level. So I'm at the base of the stairway that would take you up to the final level, and I'll actually go up there. But it's really cool to kind of see how the curvature of the church is really going to be accented all the way through by these wonderful lines. I'm going up to the next level, and we'll get a good look back so that you can see what they look like all through. Really impressive. I don't know if you can kind of get a sense for that, but here at the top of the church, the top level of the church, that way back arch back there, over the choir loft is now all white. And it'll complement, it'll bring connection to this arch here. That's the arch that leads into the sanctuary, and that's the wall of the apse right behind the high altar. But at this level, you can see how all of the white arches have been completed. They've been painted over twice. We're going to do some accenting and some cleaning up of these medallions, where chandeliers will once again be affixed to illuminate our church a little bit more beautifully. Very exciting developments. Those gold bands, either in that rope kind or the solid lines, I haven't got a final update as to which pattern will ultimately serve us the best. But should we go with rope lines, did you guess why we would do that at St. Anthony's? Well, St. Anthony was a Franciscan, and I'll show you his statue. I'll go down to the main level and finish up there. But his statue, all Franciscans wear a white robe, symbolizing the evangelical counsels of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So we're going to go back down and I'll show you that statue, and that'll be all the details for this week. A lot of good progress. So now the ceiling's almost complete. Just going to do some accenting, painting to these medallions to sharpen them up. Put some gold accents, hopefully in that rope design on all of these arches, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go by our patron and his first class relics, and then we'll terminate from there. And so we'll finish up right here. I'm back at the narthex, back on the main floor. And you can see this is the statue of our patron, Saint Anthony of Padua. You see right, I'll go on this side so you get a kind of a good sense for his rope, his cincture. You see that right there? And that's the pattern that we're trying to highlight on all of the arches and that give us a sense for those three evangelical counsels. The top one being obedience, sorry about my finger coming in out of focus, chastity, and poverty. You might, hopefully when we come back, you'll spend some time with this. This is called the script of St. Anthony, or the brief of St. Anthony. It's wonderfully attributed to him, and a powerful invocation against demonic oppression. This is our pride and joy here, third only to the Eucharist that's reserved in the tabernacle. These are first-class relics of our patron, St. Anthony of Padua. These are actually part of his body. And we do that as a concrete connection and remembrance of our connection to our patron and his intercession for us. So it's been a big week. I'll take you back over to the ultimate goal of our project. So we're just about 3 or 4 weeks away from our project being fully completed. I'll be in Chicago next week. I leave on the red eye on Sunday with Brandon Halverson. So we'll be doing some studies, and so that our parish and so that we can maybe host a transitional deacon, a seminarian in his last 6 months of formation for service in the Diocese of Cheyenne. So I'm really excited. I pop in here every day to get a sense for things that I might want to share with you, things that might be really cool to just kind of notice progress. But I'll get a full 7-day update when I get back on Friday. All right, God bless and take care.